Student engagement. Once you get on campus, what's going to happen on campus as far as events and activities that we want to participate in? We will be implementing social distancing protocols for all events and activities. That means we will have special seating requirements, RSVP requirements. We're going to be using Engage a lot more. So if you have not already downloaded your event pass, you need to do that now, because reservations and attendance tracking is going to be required for all events. All of our events will be limited to currently enrolled NCCU students only. We will not be able to allow the public on campus for events and activities as we had in the past because of the potential spread. We want to make sure that you all are able to enjoy what events we are able to have without fear of spreading or being exposed to the virus as much as possible. Events will be limited as far as time periods because exposure, we're trying to minimize exposure as much as possible. Temperature checks. We will be checking temperatures at the door for every event to make sure that everyone is in the right minimal health requirements to participate. Hand sanitizing stations will be at all entry points. We will require face masks at all times for all events. For those who may not be able to fit in the event, because we understand that with social distancing, the capacity at events is reduced drastically, we will have live streaming and recording opportunities or some other form of virtual participation so that even if you're not able to physically be in the space, you will have a very similar experience in having as much fun or as much education as possible that we can provide. The student union, we will be reopening the student union with a couple of guidelines. We will be redeploying our housekeeping staff in a way to make sure that we're sanitizing as much as possible. High touch areas, high traffic areas will be scheduled to be cleaned every 30 minutes or at least wiped down on some level using disinfectants. Hand sanitizing stations will be provided at all entrances to the building. We will require, again, face masks. Like I said, you're going to hear that a lot today. Social distancing footprint decals will be placed throughout the building just to remind you of how far apart. I know there's going to be a challenge, particularly in Chick-fil-A. However, we still have to maintain that social distancing. We will do everything we can to help and remind you of that. Desk shields and hands-free door openers will be installed throughout the building. We will have to adjust our capacities for all of our venues. For those of you who are in student organizations that use the student union for events and activities, we will have to reduce the number of people in those spaces. So please keep that in mind as you're planning for the fall. Limited seating capacity in the Eagle dining area. Again, we will have to reduce the number of seats available to reduce the likelihood of spread of the virus. We will do the same thing in our lounge areas. And we will have new guidelines and requirements as you work with our office, the Student Engagement and Leadership Office, for planning your events. In the bowling alley and the game room, we will limit the number of users in the spaces, and particularly for the bowling alley, there will be a limit of 2 persons per lane. We will make sure that the bowling balls are sanitized after every use. There will be the 6 feet of distancing as well. Game room will be limited to billiards players only, and that will be 2 people per pool table. We will not have a lot of space to accommodate spectators. So if you're there to see a pool, we have you, we will take care of you. But if you're there to spectate, you will not be able to do that in this space. We will also make sure that the pool sticks are sanitized. For our video gamers out there, unfortunately, we will have to eliminate the video consoles for video game consoles this year. We will bring them back as soon as possible, but that's something that we cannot have at this time.